Ready? Let's get it.
I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 early. Now, I know what y'all are thinking. I know. The life cycle continues. Every single year, we get a new Call of Duty. Every summer, leaks come out. We get excited about the new COD, and then we wait with anticipation. And then on October or November, the new Call of Duty comes out, and it's the same damn thing every single time. Every year, we get excited for its release, we get hyped, and then again, it comes out, and it's a horrible game.
Yep.
I really do think it's a bad game in terms of like there's a lot of shit that they took out of the game that should have never been taken out.
How can 99% of the player base love the casual no skill gap game if they're all leaving? They didn't listen to what we said at COD Next. They didn't listen to a thing that we said.
Somewhere over the course of the last 10 years, I feel like Call of Duty has forgotten its identity. In my opinion, I feel like the last good Call of Duty we had was Black Ops 3. Now, that might be a faded take, but let me explain.
Wow.
If you go back and look over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, for some reason, the game is slowly turning into a tactical shooter as opposed to an arcade style shooter that we all knew and loved from Call of Duty. All right, now before I get into it and we talk about the new game, let's go back in time and talk about the OG Call of Duties. The Call of Duties that we all knew and loved and the ones that we fell in love with. Let's talk about Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. Going back and playing those games, I understand the graphics were horrible, and I completely understand.
If you lot were here,
that's not.
if you lot were here for that time period, if you lot loved Call of Duty and played Call of Duty back then, you're goated. That was the best period to ever play Call of Duty. I remember being in like year 8, year 9. Oh, best time to play COD.
Not what we fell in love with. We fell in love with the way the game felt, with how snappy it was. You could put on any attachment and it didn't make your gun slower. And it didn't have a penalty. It didn't make you feel like you had a 20-pound weighted vest. So I went back and I played Black Ops 2. And I was reminded of what good Call of Duties felt like. I went and I tried to play and I used a sniper. I used a sub. I used an AR and I felt like I could actually ADS fast. I was able to strafe side to side incredibly quick. I was able to run. It felt incredibly good. Again, somewhere Activision / Call of Duty lost the plot. And we played Modern Warfare 2 early. Fast forward to this year, we probably had one of the worst years, in my opinion, ever in the Call of Duty franchise. This game turned into a tactical shooter as opposed to an arcade shooter that we fell in love with. So
Yeah, 40, I'll be on. I've done it, but we'll play together again. Just message me when you're on in it. I'm just doing a reaction vid.
now going forward and play testing Modern Warfare 3, I'm not going to lie, I was incredibly skeptical. So before I get into this, I'm gonna tell you a couple things. I am allowed to tell you that I played Modern Warfare 3 early.
Of course.
I cannot get into specifics about how the game specifically felt. And let me tell you why. At the end of the day, this is a pre-alpha build. We don't want to get people excited or discouraged based off the feedback that I give for this game because it's not done yet. But what I can tell you are the things that they're adding. So we were presented a PowerPoint with all the things that they're adding to the game and a lot of fan favorites that things want to see. I'm telling you right now, based on the PowerPoint alone, I was incredibly hyped. Again, I cannot talk about the gameplay, but let's talk about the PowerPoint and let's get into this. So I'm gonna first start off with multiplayer.
Just quickly, yeah, like imagine being there early and seeing the pre-alpha build. I think it's good what he's doing. I think it's good that they're not hyping it up early, and obviously they're at the same time they're trying to dumb it down. You could tell he's excited. You could tell he's buzzing. He just wants to let rip and say, look, if all of this comes into the game, be excited. But it's pre-alpha. For those of you who don't know, when it comes to game building, it goes through stages. You've got alpha, beta, and then you've got the full game. When a game is alpha, like it's not even there is a game, but it's not even ready. When it's beta, then it's like, okay, we can release this game in beta, and it doesn't something to do with like the laws, like the actual law around releasing a game and stuff like that. They can change it as they want. Whereas when you release a full game post beta, then that's you can't change the game. The game is what it is. So I think it's good that he's not hyping and he's not talking about the early gameplay that he's done. But let's see what he says now.
Multiplayer, you heard it from every CDL pro from literally across the country.
Launch the fucking rank play the same day the goddamn game comes out. No, it's not that fucking hard.
I'm gonna preface this by saying Everybody knows Sledgehammer is in charge of Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, in my opinion, Sledgehammer is actually listening to the community.
Let's go.
Let me show you why.
Go ahead.
For multiplayer, there is a lot of fan favorite things coming back. Map voting has returned. Classic mini-map red dots are coming back. And we all know this. We've been asking for this for a while. All the CDL pros, all the multiplayer people have wanted this. Silent Ninja perk. I don't know if it's going to be called Ninja perk, but the Silent Footstep perk is...
What a W. If you lot play rank play, you lot play competitive multiplayer Call of Duty, you know how cold this perk is and how broken it can be. This had to be like this. It can't be a field upgrade. It just can't. Now it's going to be so much better. All right, let's get it.
Is coming back. And then to top this all off, just a little sprinkle to add to the multiplayer, hype. 150 base health.
W.
I
6K's
was
decent.
genuinely speechless when reading this PowerPoint. And again, I want to manage my own expectations, but even hearing all this, I was like, where has this been the last 4 years? I was genuinely shocked.
Where was
I have to go off just the PowerPoint alone, not what I played. That brought a lot of hope into me. And I know a lot of people are going to say in the comments, oh, this is Copium, we're repeating the same cycle. And you might be right. But again, I always say that from now on, I will not speak on anything unless I've played it, and I have. I cannot tell you specifics on that. I can only tell you what's on the PowerPoint, but a lot of these fan favorite things are coming back, and I cannot be more excited.
Let's go.
Now let's get into the multiplayer maps. Modern Warfare 3 will release with 16 maps on launch. All 16 of these maps will be OG Modern Warfare 2 maps.
W.
I'm talking Favela, High Rise, Terminal, Estate, and many other fan favorite maps.
W.
Now, to summarize multiplayer, in my opinion, I think we're in for a good year. Again, everybody has to wait and see and try it out for themselves. I don't know if they're going to change things for the beta. It's pre-alpha, right? So they could change things. I'm not too sure. But again, in my opinion, based off these PowerPoints alone, I think
Scooby Dude, mate, question, and what gonna happen to Warzone 2? I'm a bit confused. They've not really said anything about Warzone 2 yet. Warzone in general. Don't forget, in September they close Caldera. So I think it's September 21st. They'll close the server for Caldera. So that's the last time we could play Caldera. So there's only gonna be one Warzone map. For Warzone Al Mazrah that we've got now, I don't know what's going to happen to the map, but they are releasing a new Warzone map in Modern Warfare 3, a brand new one. We've got no details about it. We've got no information about it. I don't even know if these guys have watched it yet. And also on that point with maps, 2009 Modern Warfare 2, sorry, had the best maps. They were so sick. It was so good. And the fact that we're getting, how many did they say? 16 releasing? W. But yeah, Scooby, what's it called? Caldera closes 21st September. Al Mazrah, I believe, is still going to be there. They haven't mentioned anything yet, but there is confirmed to be a new Warzone map.
it's going to be incredible. Now let's get into what everybody here has been asking for. To all my Warzone guys, movement. Now, I know you guys are probably going to be shocked at what you're about to hear, but based off what we saw in the presentation, it seems like movement has returned. The way the entire team was describing movement, it seemed like they knew last year was not the play, and that this year it was time to make amends and improve off the things that they messed up on last year.
They need to do a big
Literally
change.
the entire time they kept saying, we don't want to slow you down. We don't want to slow you down. And for that, I'm incredibly thankful. So let's get into it. So this is what the presentation had to say. Movement will be less restrictive. You can cancel, in bold letters, anything.
Hey!
All animations can be canceled. I'm talking reload canceling,
Yes.
slide canceling, and some other things as well. There will be an increase to all movement animations. There will be an ADS while sliding perk. Your attack sprint resets while running automatically. Faster mantling and mantling while sprinting. Fire immediately after sliding, and increase attack sprint duration and increase strafing speeds and ADS.
Yes.
If you go back and look at what we asked for last year,
Rebirth Demons
I will
coming
tell you
back.
Everything that I just specified were things that we pointed out that we wanted. I'm talking the whole entire Call of Duty community said Modern Warfare 2 is too slow. This feels like a tactical shooter. And again, That's what they wanted at the time, but I'm really happy that they decided to change things up. Now, based off what we're seeing, it feels like we are going to be free to do whatever we want. If we want to play slow, hold a pre-aim, and play quote-unquote campy, you can. But if you want to get cracked with a bunch of movement, it seems like you're going to be able to do this.
Today, I'm going to be trying hard as a mother.
So there is no limiting play styles. You can play however you want. And I think that's what drew us to Call of Duty in the first place. So last thing about movement is a new mechanic that will be introduced starting Modern Warfare 3. And I'm honestly kind of excited about this, but I think it's going to be crazy. There's this new thing called tac stance. It is an in-between of ADS and hip firing. So if you play Warzone right now, you know the canted laser where you're pretty much your gun is tilted off to the side and you can aim down sight really fast. That is pretty much what we're going to be getting. But you can use this on any gun. If you want to make your LMG faster, you put on tac stance and you can run around with your LMG and shoot from a semi.
Hype God, I feel like the game is actually going to live up to the hype instead of all the other games. There's a sense of urgency with this one. There's a sense of like belief with it as well. I am going to end up going, I've just realized because there's a lot of music playing in this, so I'm probably going to get DMC'd. Is it DMC? But DMCA or whatever it is. But I am going to go back and watch all the other streamers' videos and see what they all say and see what's kind of correlating. Obviously, they're all there. They're all going to get the same piece of information. But I do feel like that, yeah, it might do. I've said it already. I don't want to get my hopes too high. But yeah, it sounds like it, man. Honestly, if everything that we're hearing actually comes into fruition and actually is in the game, yes, it's going to be an absolute W. It's going to be a banger of a game, arguably one of the best CODs. If it happens. This is the thing, if it happens.
Hip fire position. I'm really excited to see how this tac stance gets implemented and to see if it changes the game. So let's get into the perk system. Call of Duty is straying away from their typical perk system design. Instead of using perks, we are now using equipment. For example, if we are using a gun and we want fast hands, you now put on gloves that are fast hands. If you want increased strafe, you now put on gloves that strafe. If you want to have longer tac sprint, you put on boots that have longer tac sprint. These are just some of the examples that they presented, but going forward, we will now have equipment that counts as our perks. How this is going to work in other things like Warzone, I'm not too sure. For example, are you going to be able to pick up gloves off the floor and put on gloves and have, you know, faster ADS? I'm not too sure. There's a lot of things that they can do, but this is genuinely going to be the new perk system going forward. Again, I want to reiterate, manage your expectations because this was only pre-alpha. I don't know how this is going to play out in beta. I don't know how this is going to play out in the game. As we saw last year, we thought we were going to get a semi-decent game when we played the beta. We were able to slide cancel. We were able to bunny hop. And then we got the game and they took off bunny hopping. They removed slide canceling and they made it slower. Manage your expectations. But based off just specifically of what we've seen, I hate to say it, and I know people might hate me in the comments, but we might just get a good Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So to wrap this all up, I want to say thank you so much to Activision for inviting me over to play Modern Warfare 3 early. Now, I will say this, just because I was invited to play test Modern Warfare 3 early doesn't mean that I'm going to praise their game if it's bad. Same example as last year. Modern Warfare 2 was probably one of the worst Call of Duties, in my opinion, in a long time.
Oh, shit.
I was very vocal about this. I posted YouTube videos about this. I always said it on Twitter.
That's one thing I'll give Repost. Like, he did not hold back. Him and a lot of streamers, they did not hold back with the criticism, which was good. I'm very much in the Call of Duty scene, so I feel like I watch a lot of the streamers and I'm up to date with like what's being said in their little circles. And yeah, he did not hold back. So like, credit to him.
I gave feedback to the devs. I did everything that I could to try to make this game as good as possible. And I gave my feedback of what I think could be improved. Now going forward, I feel like they're listening, not to me, but to the community of what we actually want. We want the way Call of Duty's used to feel. And I feel like we might have done it. But again, I don't know. I would say, please, everybody watching this, wait to play the game yourself during the beta and see for yourself what you think. Final thoughts are, I'm really excited to see how this movement plays out. A lot of people wanted Modern Warfare 2019 movement, and it seems like they gave us that and a little bit more. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. So you guys have heard how I feel. Now let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel.
He's got a point. So like I've said already, like, it's pre-alpha, that it can change. this is the thing. Who's to say like the devs themselves could make it and be like, yeah, this game's cold. Like we'll give it to the top boys and see if they like it, and then they'll dish it out. At the end of the day, it's a company. If the game makes money for them, they'll do it. If the game doesn't make money for them, they'll get them to change it. That's just how it works. It's a sad thing, but it's just how it is. So hopefully it does get released as we are hearing it, and it sounds like if it does, it's gonna be a banger of a COD. It's really, really gonna be a good COD. So fingers crossed, my guys.